many years have passed in time. That's how reality works and the human construct of time. It's now time for me and Floppy to feel real old as we look at which games are having anniversaries this year.
Oh, God. Games I played in my 20s.
Now, just for a little bit of, I've forgotten the word I'm looking for, but to
Context.
Context, yes. Thank you, Braden. How old are you?
So I'm born in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
I am 23.
So
Braden-
don't make me do math.
Braden is 23 years old.
How old are you, Ben?
I'm old enough to know better.
We'll all do it. We made Braden do it.
No, only Braden.
He looks silly because he's so little and young. How old are you, Ben? I'll do me.
No, I'm old enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not afraid of it. I am 40, turning 41 this year.
So 20 years ago in 2001. 2001 was 20 years ago, Floppy.
I was 21, man.
So
I had
releasing
some mad long hair.
releasing 20 years ago, we had Devil May Cry, Pikmin, the original Luigi's Mansion,
This one gets me.
Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Metal Gear Solid 2.
I bought that new...
20 years ago.
Which one of these do you want footage for?
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
So, Braden, what were you playing when you were 3 years old?
Oh,
With his poo.
oh man, what was I playing at that? Oh, sure. At
Bit of
3 years
Conkers?
old.
You playing a bit of Conkers going up to that
Nah,
flower?
I never had Conkers. Conkers was a 64 game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It
See,
was
I
one of
didn't-
the very last ones, which
I
is
didn't-
why it is so pricey on the aftermarket now.
I didn't have a 64. My neighbors did. And the only game I can remember playing was some weird-ass Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64, that's an awful game.
Can't you get Conker's Bad Fur Day on Rare Replay?
No. Oh, yes, you can.
It's
No,
too crude.
it's Bond that you can't. But yes, you can get it on there. Devil May Cry, Floppy.
Yeah, the old hack and slash.
Yeah, what do you think?
I didn't dig it back in the day. I can't remember why. I think I was more into my espionage style, like Metal Gear. I was right in the middle of Metal Gear and all that sort of jazz at the time.
How did you feel when Raiden was revealed as the main protagonist for the game?
Look, I liked it because it dared to be different. That's one of the things that drew me into the original Metal Gear, was it did things that was different, and the storytelling was awesome, and I didn't see it coming, and I thought it was great. So yeah, it took me on a ride. It was great. It's fantastic.
Especially that ending.
Oh,
Oof. Oof. Oh, Kojima. For me, honestly, Conker's Bad Fur Day was I got it because it was one of the last Nintendo 64 games released, and we hired it one night. A friend and I, after he heard some guy talking about it at school, saying how crude it was. So we went, all right, yeah, we'll hire it, and we stayed up all night and finished it because it was great. We were heavily into films back then, and there are so many references, like the Teddies are spelled like Nazis, and you do the Normandy. Doomsday Landing, which is like Saving Private Ryan, and you got
Omaha
Teddies
Beach.
getting blown out with stuffing coming out, and like one Teddy's walking around with his arm dislodged. You have the ending. Oh, the ending! Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old game. You're doing the Alien 2 battle, so you get in a giant mech and you're battling.
Oh, the power armor.
Yeah, the Alien Queen.
powerlifter.
And there's an alarm going off, going roo, roo, and if you don't sort of pick up the alien and sort of fight it, and you just sort of dodge it, so the voice going over while you're battling is warning, warning, warning. If you don't know what to do, eventually it goes, use the suit to pick up the alien and throw it out the effing door.
I need to play it. I've never played it.
You really should. It's a
Yeah,
really, really cool
I think
game.
I want to.
I gotta
love
say,
this level of Metal Gear.
you guys are posing the question to me of what I was playing back then.
Yes.
Obviously, I was not playing these games, but some awesome freaking games came out that I loved from 2001. We're talking Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
We're talking bloody Super Smash Bros. On the Super Smash Bros. Melee, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Crash Bandicoot, I think it's
Warped?
2 or 3, maybe?
I
Three.
really think, Braden, because we're streaming more now, once we've got the capture card stuff sorted out here, we need to sit down in my game room and we need to introduce you to some games that Floppy and I grew up on.
Oh,
On
that is
their
gonna-
original medium.
I'm going to warn you, it's going to be insufferable to watch because I am not going to be able to play these games.
I'm going to introduce you to a game I used to play when I was young called Stick and Ball.
No, you tried to introduce him to that before. We had to get the police around. The judge said don't do that anymore.
I mean Stick and Hoop.
So when Braden was -2, 25 years ago, 1996, we had
Far out.
a little game series called Pokemon burst out onto the stage.
Never heard of it.
Is this English or Japanese?
That was Japanese.
Nice.
So Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green. Quake came out.
Quake was great. I played a lot of Quake.
Resident Evil.
Yes.
Crash Bandicoot.
The OG.
The OG Crash Bandicoot. The original Persona came out 25 years ago.
Far out.
The original Tomb Raider came
Oh.
out 25 years ago.
So good.
Duke Nukem 3D came out on PC.
Shouldn't have played it.
You can get that really, really cheap on the
Actually,
Switch at the
No,
moment.
you know what? I was 16. I was fine with it.
Mario 64 came out 25 years ago. And the Tamagotchi.
A Tamagotchi?
Tamagotchi. You know, little furry people that you
Never
play
heard
with.
of them.
Little watch. Anyway, Mario 64. I have great memories of Mario 64. My friend got a 64 on launch. This is after I've told the story many times on the show. There was one of those kiosks or truck kiosks that had 3 64s all set up with the CRTs parked out the front of our local Toys R Us. And during the school holidays, the same friend who I played Conkers with, he and I went down there. This is before the 64 was launched, and just played open till close each day, to the point where the lady told us we had to get off if other people came and wanted to play it. But if there was no one around, she just let us get back on. So we played a lot of Mario 64 there. Then he got it, and we stayed up till midnight playing Mario 64. This is such a wonderful game. Well, after midnight. Oh, I don't know. We were like young. We were
Set up to midnight the next day.
Yeah, that's right. Hardcore players, man. But this game is amazing, and you can play it now on obviously the Mario 3D All Stars. But you better get that quick, because it's not going to sell it for much longer.
How old were you in 1996?
I was an age.
Man, I can't get it.
30 years ago,
Hang on, you gonna ask me
1991.
what I was playing in?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. Sorry.
So you were right at me being 16 years old. So I was getting right into the more adult style games. I was playing Resident Evil, getting the crap scared out of me, loving it. Even loving the tank controls at the time. I was playing Quake with friends.
See, people complain about tank controls, but you have to remember they were revolutionary back then.
Yeah,
This is the first game that basically used that tank control.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I can't play them now. Now I die all the time. But at the time, I thought it was great, and I found it easy. It was weird how easy I found it, going back to what I can't do. But yeah, I was playing Resident Evil. I was playing Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was the first game I got on the PS1. I got it with my PS1. I played Quake on friends' PCs. I didn't have one, but I played it theirs all the time.
Pentium.
Yeah, 286, 386, something like that. Duke Nukem 3D, I was playing on my dad's PC. I did have a moment where my mum walked in when I was in one of the stripper clubs, shooting the strippers, and the money was falling out.
Shake it, baby.
Yeah, that was weird. And the warthogs that dressed like police. And
Yeah.
so,
Doesn't hold up well, that game.
No. But yeah, I didn't do Pokemon because I was of the age where I was probably just a little bit too old that it didn't grab me.
Right.
Or
I
not
was
old
right in the demographic. So
I do love
feel
that
like
everyone
14.
in the chat is having like super nostalgia conversations as well. It's really great.
Yeah, what have we got in the chat there? Just to cut you off there, Floppy. Michael Towns has said they did a thing like the trial thing with the 64 for the Wii when it came out, but it was just a night. Michael was the first to give it a go and was on YouTube and everything. He was possibly one of the first in Adelaide to give Wii Tennis a shot.
Oh, I thought you were just saying you got a Wii first, and the only thing you did was go on YouTube.
He installed the YouTube channel. Did it even have a YouTube channel?
I got a couple of stories about the Wii launch. So I went to the midnight launch for the Wii, and I remember standing in line out the front of EB Games in Rundle Mall.
Is that when it was the little one in the mall?
Yeah, right in the mall. I knew the store manager there as well.
Who was that?
I forget his name. Some tall guy.
Didn't know him very well.
No,
He's going to unsubscribe now.
he probably will. But I was standing in line and we were waiting to get our Wiis. I already pre-ordered. I was very excited.
waiting to
Looking
get my
forward to
Wiis.
play some Zelda. So midnight launch. The one memory I have, well, the two memories I have from that night. First one being some drunk guy walking down the middle of the mall, yelling into his phone, obviously having an argument with his better half. And he just got to the point where he stood in the middle, because Toys R Us was right across the other side. So there was a line up there, and then I was in the lineup for EB Games. And right in between the two lines, he just yelled, took the phone away from his ear, yelled in it, "I want you to get out of my life. turned and threw his phone down the other end of the mall, turned and walked the other way.
Whoa!
Wow.
What a way to talk to your mum.
He got that off the school of like Bold and the Beautiful or something. He
Oh,
learned how to
man, it was
interact with
amazing.
people.
Do you reckon he regretted it like 37 seconds later?
Well, when he sobered up and like phones weren't cheap back then. My
Oh,
second
they're
memory.
cheap now.
My second memory was when I got the Wii home, hooked it up. The guys I was sharing a house with at the time came in, and we sat down and said, "Oh, should we play it?" Or, "Oh, yeah, we'll just do a quick update." Bad idea. So we got home at sort of like 1 o'clock, and then we're waiting for it to update. An hour and a half later, it finally updated, and we played a little bit of Wii Sports. And went, "I'm going to bed."
Going to bed.
Yep. And then I had a week off so I could play it.
Dylan the Villain in the chat says, it's a shame he doesn't have memories like this. Just remember, Dill, we're a fair bit older, mate. So you give yourself another 10 or 15 years and you'll be having memories like this with your PS3s, PS4s, stuff like that. So it doesn't mean that you haven't got those memories. It just means you're not old enough yet because you're still blessed with youth.
30 years ago, 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog first came out. 30 years.
I was 10.
Streets of Rage 1 came out. F-Zero, Battletoads, Street Fighter 2, a little game that I'm rather fond of.
You like that, don't you?
I do.
Who's
I
on
also
your
like Super Mario World and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past.
Never heard of her.
These are all fantastic games, and they all still hold up. In fact, I think each of those games, besides Sonic, really holds up well today. A comment, Braden?
No, it's correct. I'm just saying.
Thank you. See, I have the courage to say these things. I'm the brave one here. Floppy, what's your pick out of those games?
So I wasn't playing any of these games.
What?
Well, because I was 10, I didn't have any game consoles. I had a PC, which was my dad's.
Right.
I was, at that point in time, I was knee-deep in Sierra adventure games.
Oh, God.
I was learning to type by playing King's Quest and Police Quest and Space Quest, and I was learning to use a mouse by playing Dune 2 and real-time strategy games, Command and Conquer and such like that.
Wow.
That's what I was at that point in time.
Braden, have you played any of those games?
Braden, have you heard of any of those games?
No, is this the Monkey Island people?
That was Lucasfilm, but
That was Lucasfilm,
But that
okay.
era, yes.
Yeah, it's that style. No, I have not played many of these games at all.
I would love to see you play Space Quest 1
There you go.
and have to type, because you have to type your commands. Look,
it's like a Zork. What is it, Zork or something?
yeah, but with visuals as well. So
Yeah.
that's Leisure Suit Larry, I think. And Police Quest, yeah, Police Quest was you had to know certain bits about actual police procedure. So you couldn't get a pirated copy of this because you needed the manuals.
My God.
To know police procedure, and it was ridiculous. Like you would play at the start of Police Quest, you sort of get into a fight with a guy, and he throws you up against the wall, and then you can play the entire game. You get to the very end of the game, hours and hours and hours later, and you go to shoot the bad guy, and your gun doesn't fire, and it comes up, and you die, and it comes up. Guess you should have gone to the gun range and realigned your sights when you got thrown up against that wall 7 hours earlier.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
That's
Oh,
insane.
Codename Iceman, another great one. You can get a lot of these games off of Steam and GOG and stuff.
Yeah. I do believe they're rather playable now as well.
But every time I get a keyboard now, the first thing I type is look around. Because it's still the first, like every time you go to a new screen, you type look around. So it's the thing I can type the fastest.
God damn.
I was playing, obviously, all these games. Street Fighter 2, Super Mario World, Link to the Past, all the Super Nintendo launch games. Yeah, massive year for Nintendo. Sega, oh well, you tried. 35 years ago, in 1986, we saw the release of Castlevania, Dragon Quest, Kid Icarus, the original Metroid, and the original Legend of Zelda. They're all celebrating their 35th anniversary this year. So Metroid gets a bit of a bum rush there, coming out the same year as The Legend of Zelda, because I don't think there's going to be very many Metroid celebrations.
Are you sure though? Like Metroid is not.
They skipped
forgotten.
the 25th anniversary.
Hey, they've released a logo.
Yeah, but okay.
But the 25th anniversary of Zelda got I got a poster. I've got that hanging up in my kitchen.
Do we legitimately think we're going to hear anything about that this year?
What?
The Metroid
Metroid?
game?
No.
Yep.
Nothing at
I'm
all.
calling it.
We might get a trailer.
Yeah,
if
we'll
we're
get.
lucky.
No, we'll get a name at the end of like a black screen with a Metroid 4 on it.
So the same animated GIF we got before.
They'll be like, hey, remember this?
But it'll be different.
Oh, they would have changed the subtitle to
and
I'm
then-
sorry.
Celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Oof.
40 years. Older than me.
My age.
Gallagher
How much older than you is it?
and Donkey Kong Arcade. So the original Jumpman going to rescue Pauline from the hands of a big old ape dude.
Look at
I
that.
love this game.
This game's old as I am. If you digitize me, that's what I look like, apparently.
No, you look like Pauline.
Look at his butt.
Oh, wouldn't make that into Mass Effect, would you?
Oh, hey, do you know what else is not going to be in Mass Infect?
That gorilla is high as
It's
hell.
not a good
That's
year to talk
high-
about mass infections, mate.